son, we've had a bit of an argument. It happens, right? Dad and son. But it's one of those where, like, everything was going okay today, and then, like, uh, just bad behavior unsettles things just a little bit. Anyway, Emmanuel, how you doing? You bought Dokkan, the payments gateway. Do not have PayStack, which is available in my country. Please, I need your help. How to do what you need to do? Well, the thing is, Emmanuel, is that have you reached out to the Dokkan support team? Have you reached out to them? Hey, Dave. Hey, Linda. Hey, Jean. Hey, John. How you doing? Hey, Daniel Arani as well. So, Emmanuel, you've bought Dokkan. Have you reached out to their support team? Have you reached out to their Facebook forum? Have you communicated, contacted the developers? Hey, Ive, how you doing? Hey, Maddie. And by the way, Maddie, I'm glad you got that thing sorted with the code snippet. It's a pain when something like that happens. But yeah, for anyone that's joined on, you're probably wondering, what's up with Imran? Just, me and Raheem had a bit of an argument. Hey, Sergio. It's mainly like where he wants to do something and I'm like, no, you're not going to do that. And then he just explodes. We're talking about major tantrum, major like rant, few expletives, banging, throwing things and all of that, which is never nice. And he does have that. All kids go through that kind of thing, but it's, it's like, he gets angry, I get angry, everyone gets angry. Hey, RVD, PK, how you doing? Hey, Harish, how are you as well? So hopefully you all saw a little bit of the video that I put out, because I've got, hey, Pete, how you doing? I've got early access to the, which you can see on the screen at the moment. If I just get rid of this text editor, let's clear out everything here, where I've got early access to the Elementor AI. So if I go and drop in a text editor, and over here we can now go in and say, okay, give me a paragraph about code snippets. Give me a paragraph about code snippets. Let's go and generate the text and let's see what we get. Hey, Soren, how are you doing? Are you still hiking? So here we go. We get a bit of a block about that. I could go and change the tone and say, you know what? Let's make it a bit more playful. Let's go for a playful thing, okay, and see what we get there. Does it make it any more play? Yeah, okay. So pissed. Hey, you. Do you know how? This is quite good. We can make it longer. We can make it shorter. Or I could just use the text as it is. What I do like, though, about this is that when you do go down to advanced and custom CSS, we could go here and now add in some CSS. What shall we ask it to do? How about make the first 3 characters, this might not work, by the way, the first of each word, make the first 3 characters have a bold format. Make the first 3 characters have a of each. Oh God, I've written that wrong, haven't I? What you write does matter, doesn't it? Here we go. Have a bold format. Do you think it could do that? Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Right, so we'll just wait for that. So there we go. It's giving us a bit of code. Okay, let's insert that. That's not, well, it's done it for the very first letter there. It's not really done it for each word, has it? And this is the thing about the AI, where I have found it's very trial and error, this. And I did find that ChatGPT was a little bit better. Anyway, question Daniel says is, how do you get it? Elemental let me have early access to it, which was nice of them. They didn't ask me to do a video, by the way. I did a video and I said to them, can I do a video? And they were like, yeah, okay, go for it. And I did say to them that I would only do a video if I felt it was worth it, which is why I did the video. They did not ask for the video. I want to point that out, okay? They let me have early access so I could feed back to them as to what I thought. Hey, Eddie, how you doing? So Daniel had an issue with cross-sell module and asked if I can make it with a loop item. My answer is, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I think there'll be an issue with like ensuring the cross-sell bit related to, unless you used a query within the loop grid. I don't know. How can we change images on clicking a button? So obviously you got to add in a JavaScript. So you'll have like a what's the word? Click, not click. It's where it identifies that something's happened, right? And then it would pick it up and change. But you're gonna have to go to ChatGPT for that. Gabrielle, when uploading an image, can I remove the full size resolution 3 megabyte? Yeah, you can. I mean, I would say though, Gabrielle, that once you've got it, if you've resized it, I would probably say maybe upload the resized version, or hold on a second. If you've done it in the media library, you're going to still need the original. Maybe. I need to test this out. But whenever I've done this, if I've taken an image and it's now never going to be bigger than, say, 100 pixels wide, I then resize it and get it in at 100 pixel wide, so I don't have to worry about duplicated images and stuff like that lying around anywhere. Look, the Elemental AI is actually quite quick. I will give it that, okay? It is pretty quick. Let me just increase myself over here. It is quick. My only issue though is when you look at like the CSS bit and all of that, or the custom code, it's not very. I mean, look, okay, rainbow colored and animated text gradient. Let's go and do that. Let's see if it actually does produce that. Yeah. Do you know what, Dave? They did, didn't they? But I think they shared it to more than just me and Paul. I think it went to Ferdy as well. Well, Ferdy got it as well, and quite a few others. Right, so let's just go in and do this, and let's hit insert. So there we go. Look, we've got this animated text animation. Can you see it? Can you see that? Let's make it bolder so that you can see this properly. Let's make it bigger, and let's go with that. Something like that. There we go, look. Not bad, right? I mean, it's not the kind of effect I would actually like to use. Hey, George. That's not the effect I would use, but it's an effect that's been created by the AI. Yeah, absolutely, Linda. Yeah, we've kind of bonded, but often I find with him that he needs to have a little bit of like time away from me in a way so that he can calm down more and feel more composed. And I think it gives him time to reflect. And often he'll come back to me and go, yeah, what I did was wrong. You know, because like everything was going okay. And then he kind of just flipped a trigger kind of thing. Right, Soren is saying that Google Search Console is saying they're not finding his sitemap. So here's what you need to do, okay? Because Rank Math will produce it, okay? What you need to do is go and get the sitemap URL. You know, the suffixes. Get the bit of the URL address and just resubmit it again, Soren. That's what I would do. So Gabrielle says, how can I get rid of the full size image? To be honest, you have to go into File Manager. You have to go to File Manager, go to WP Content, go to Uploads, do a search for the name of that image, and then you'll get like 7-8 different images. And then what you got to do is go and pick the one and then delete whichever one wasn't the right one. You got to kind of go in and do that. Yep, got early access, Eddie. I mean, it is very early access. By the way, though, I think it's going to be released on beta this week. Not beta, alpha. It's going to be released on alpha. I think it's coming out this week. This week. In fact, I'm going to hedge a bet and say it's coming out tomorrow. I've got a feeling, because what they gave us is something that is kind of... they just wanted to get quick feedback, and I think it's going to be coming out this week in alpha mode, you know. And by the way, though, you know, this AI, there was no, well, as far as I could tell, there wasn't a, I mean, they might change it when they release it, but if I go over to the text over here, there was no experiment to activate, right? So you didn't have to activate it, it was there. The thing that intrigues me the most, though, is this. You see over here, it says upgrade unlimited access to Elementor AI. What does that mean? And if you click it, all it does is take you over here to elementor.com products. And when you scroll down, it doesn't actually, there's no price. There's no, I mean, there isn't really much else there. So I'm not sure exactly what does, I mean, let's go to pricing for a moment. No. So I'm not entirely sure what this upgrade bit is. Does this mean you can only use it for so many words or so many prompts? And if you want to use it for more than 20 or 30 prompts, now you got to pay for it, a bit like Midjourney or stuff like that. So I'm a little bit unsure. I just got to double check something, all right, because my chest is hurting. And I just want to double check something, all right. So just give me 20 seconds because I'm just checking my heart rate because my heart is hurting. That's not a good sign. Like, it's hurting quite a bit in a weird way. No, seems all right, but yeah, just a bit of a weird sensational pain there. So the thing is, though, Soren, though, if you've done it and you've done instant indexing as well, okay, it can take 2, 3, 4 days. So when did you first get notified of the problem, Soren, and how much time has there been since it's gone through? Yeah, Eddie, I'm pretty sure. I mean, when is that webinar, by the way? I've forgotten the date, Eddie. Is it tomorrow, Eddie? I can't remember. Is it today? I really don't know, Eddie. No, my Apple Watch, to be honest, I don't know if it does trigger an emergency call, Eddie. I'm pretty sure it does something or the other. But yeah, I think it's just, it was just a bit of pain just down there, you know, which is kind of not in exactly the same place as my heart. Actually, it's more below, which is a bit of a weird feeling. Anyway, so anyway, look, there's the Elementor AI. What is a little bit frustrating though, okay, and you're going to see this in a moment now, okay, so if I go over here and I go to text editor, right, and I go and say, so let's just say I say, give me a headline about SEO. So give me let's go for punchy, right? Give me a punchy headline about SEO. It's going to generate text, right? In ChatGPT, you then would have said, now write an article about it. Now give me a paragraph. Now, hey Mia, hope you're okay. And the cats and the dogs and Lena. If this was ChatGPT, you would now say, okay, now give me a paragraph. Now give me an intro. Now give me an outline. Hey Nick, now give me more here and there and stuff like that. You can't do that here. So what you have to do is you have to pick up the entire headline, and then you have to say, give me an intro based on, and then you've got to do this. You've got to say based on question mark, put in the headline it's just generated, and then hit generate text. And otherwise you lose it. The other downside is that it does not store anything, which is very similar to a lot of AI integrated kits. So if you were to create your headline, but you didn't paste it, and then you closed it down and went back in, that headline is gone. It's not stored anywhere. Your prompts are not stored anywhere like ChatGPT. So I can see that annoying people a little bit. But then that is why you've got to kind of test it out a bit more. Yep, so Soren, you can do instant indexing yourself. Underneath every single page or URLs, you can instantly index it yourself. I mean, any integrated AI is going to have this slight limitation in, does it keep a record of your prompts? Can you do sequential prompting, which this can't? When it comes to writing code, I have found it's not very sharp. It's not very sharp at all. Okay, in fact, I feel like I'm not showing my screen. It's not very sharp at all with sequential. Well, not sequential, with writing code. And you might as well just do it in, you might just have to go to ChatGPT. You know, I'll be using this. If it comes as part of Elemental Pro, I'll be using it. Of course I would. Why wouldn't you? It's part of the tool, right? But when it comes to generating code snippets or code, I'm going to definitely be sticking to ChatGPT. I think the Elemental AI still needs to evolve quite a lot, because I did a video, and that video, I edited it out, the fact I had to do it 4 times before it gave me what I want, because I knew what it looks like, because I've got this code snippet already. I know what the answer is. And it kept giving me stuff which, the minute I used it, it was like, this isn't it. This doesn't do it. It thinks it does it, but it doesn't. And it's the language as well. You got to be very careful how it interprets it. So I don't know what kind of machine learning they've got going on in the background, but I hope it improves. Hey, Ben, how are you doing? By the way, Mia, thank you for dropping in. And look, if you've got to go off and get on with things, you go and do that. So Soren, can you do the instant indexing, or is it not there anymore? Daniel, do you price a luxury design more? Of course you do, Daniel. Of course you do. Because if you have a one-page website and you have another one-page website, if this has got more stuff, why wouldn't you charge more? If this has got 20 pages, you charge more. If this is going to have more time spent on the look and feel of it, you would charge more. It's no different to like saying 2 builders are going to build an extension. Basic bog standard 4x4 meter extension. Flat roof, job done. This one is going to have an ensuite. It's going to have like sky lanterns everywhere. It's going to have more going on with it. Same size, but there's more going on. Therefore, the cost would go up, right? The cost would go up, you know. Really, Carly, what? Our system thinks you might be a robot. Are you trying to log in to a module or something, Carly? I mean, I can't. That could literally be down to, well, 2 things. That could be down to your Wi-Fi or your router. You know, sometimes my router stops me going somewhere and I go, what? It's just a normal website. Or it could be your phone browser. So delete your cookies and reset that. That might be one idea. Okay, so Soren can see that there were Google searches crawling their website. The thing is, though, Soren, it might be that you've got URLs in your sitemap from old posts or old pages, and that have never been properly removed. Like, have you still got them as drafts? Have you got stuff in your trash? Have you got something that does any archiving? Maybe what you need to do is download WP Optimize and run it to clear out your database, because you might have like orphaned posts and old drafts in existence. And you can't see them, but they exist somewhere as a little bit or byte in your WordPress database. So if you're having that issue, WP Optimize is a really good thing to run just to clear things out a little bit. Yeah, massive. That'll massively help you out. Absolutely, Ive, and I think this is where, right,
the Elementor AI is really going to help you out. Sometimes I'm doing a tutorial and I just shove in lorem ipsum, or I did like an example page for someone and I just kept sticking in lorem ipsum. Now I could go and say, give me 20, like, look, let's do it, okay? So let's just go in here and say, let's do it properly. So let's say, give me 20 words about, should we go with SEO? Let's go with WordPress SEO. WordPress SEO. Right, let's hit generate text. It is quite quick on what it returns. You know, I mean, here it's not very quick right now, but it is relatively quite quick. Now that, did you notice that? I said, give me 20 words. Did you notice that? ChatGPT would have given me 20 words. Right? So now I'm going to say, make it shorter. It will shorten it, but that's still not 20 words. So let me now take all of that, okay? We're going to go with a new prompt, and I'm going to say, shorten this to be 20 words. And now let's go and stick all of that in. And let's hit generate text. Can it do it? Yes, it has. But it should have done it the first time round, because if I had put that the first time round, ChatGPT would have gone around about 20 words. The first one of that was nowhere near 20 words. Nowhere near. By now giving it a new prompt and copy pasting it did. So you can see there's limitations, right? There are, you know, there are limitations there. And like Pixar says, it's, you know, I'm not slating it because I will be using it. But you can see here how if you had gone elsewhere, it would have done it, right? Because we do it all the time. I use ChatGPT. I mean, look, should we try it out? Should we go and open a ChatGPT window? Let's open ChatGPT. Right, so let's go and do it. Let's stick it in over here. Cancel that. Right, so let's say, what was the word? Yeah, no, so give... give me 20 words about WordPress SEO. So let's see what ChatGPT would have said. And here's the thing. Right, here's the thing. Now you see, look. Let me just change that then. That's now gone and given me something like a little bit like, not even right. Give me a 20-word paragraph about... So let's just make sure we run this right. Let's put the same prompt. Give me a 20-word paragraph about WordPress SEO. And while that's running, let's go back over here and do the same here. No! I didn't want to use the text. Hold on a minute. I'm not ignoring any comments that are coming in, by the way, okay? You just got to give me... can I just get rid of this completely? It's easier if I just start a new one. Text editor. Let's just hit that there. Open up. Let's now see what we get here. So if we now go back to ChatGPT... Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Sorry, I've just realised, right, you couldn't see my screen, could you? You couldn't see my screen. So I've just said to ChatGPT, give me a 20-word paragraph about WordPress SEO. And it's gone and given me this. Hang on. I said 20 words. How many exclamation marks should we go for? My apologies. WordPress is a vital 20-word paragraph. Why did it not do that the first time? Let's try that again. So I'm going to say, give me a 20-word. Maybe it was because I didn't put in the hyphen. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, right. Okay, it's kind of done that there. But if we go back over here, I don't know. Look. I think the point I'm trying to make here is, right, I'm not really proving myself very well, am I? Now we actually did it better than the other one. Right, just back to the questions coming in. Please don't forget to hit like if you've not hit like already. Michael had a question earlier up, and it was basically to say, a month ago a client left and took another agency. Now the client's come back. How do you handle that? Well, I now say to the client, this was my price then. How long's passed, Michael? How long has passed between when they when they were first with you and when they've come back. Because you can go and say to them, right, here's what the current price is, and that's how it is. Mako, it will depend on your host provider, to be honest, and sometimes you've got to test it in real time as well with regards to how quick or fast your website is. I don't use ChatGPT Plus, by the way. Sergio, it's the My Listing theme. My Listing, it's one word. It's a WordPress theme built with Elementor. It's really, really good. It integrates well with Elementor. I would definitely recommend it. Okay, Michael, about 1 to 2 months. Okay, well, you just tell them what the charge is now for you to either take over the website or to fix what they've done. Now, if the person says to you, well, I've already paid £1,000, don't care. I really don't care. And I sometimes have to say to them in a really nice way, yeah, I totally understand that. But if you bought a sandwich from Tesco, right, and the sandwich tasted rubbish and the sandwich was £2, and then you go into McDonald's and you want a triple cheeseburger, they are not going to drop the price from £3.50 to £1.50 because you spent £2 on a sandwich from Tesco. You had the choice of coming straight over to McDonald's, but instead you went to Tesco's or Burger King. You didn't like what they gave you. You're not going to get a refund, blah, 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 blah. That should not influence the cost of the triple cheeseburger. And when you explain it like that, they normally get it. And that's what you have to kind of do. You know, it's almost like, and then you almost have to spin it around and say to them, let's just say you sell cars. Someone came to see you, but they didn't buy your car. They went and bought another car from someone else. That car was an utter dud. That car was completely broken, bust up. They come to you and say, well, I spent 10 grand on that. I can't afford what you got. Give me it half price. You would not do that. If this was your business, you'd be like, that's not my problem. And you know, when it's so funny how when you turn it back onto the client, so what is the client's industry? If that's the client's industry, give them an analogy that relates to their industry. Put them in your shoes. Right, imagine someone comes to you. They could have gone with you. They went elsewhere. Now they come back. Are you going to give them it for half price? No, you wouldn't. So why does it kind of like work for us as well? Kind of thing, yeah? Do you know what, Linda? I think ChatGPT wasn't listening. It was weird. It put almost the same text as what Elementor did there. Darren, what's the easiest way to move a website from one domain to another? Right, really easy, Darren. This is really easy. You use the, in fact, I'll show you what you use, okay? This is what you use, right? Yeah, let's leave this website. This is my test website, by the way. You use this plugin here. All-in-one WP migration. All-in-one. All-in-one WP migration. You go here, you export to a file. You then download the file. You go to a brand new website. You install WordPress. Brand new WordPress installation. You don't even have to migrate. Brand new WordPress installation. You then go over to import. And then you would import the file you've just downloaded. And it will go up to your website with all of the user, all of the passwords, the username, all of the credentials, all of the images, all of the pages, all of the plugins. You might need to reconnect some of the plugins because of licenses or APIs or keys or whatever you got. But it is so slick and easy. Without fail, it's never let me down. It's never let me down. Pickstar makes a really good point. We're not getting many likes today, and I think that's just maybe, it's Tuesday, Pickstar, it's Tuesday afternoon. Everyone's too busy. That's just the way the world is, okay? That's just the way the world is. Marco Tago, sometimes when I want to search my URL, it shows me white screen. Well, Marco, who are you with at the moment? Who is your host at the moment? When was the last time you regenerated your CSS? When was the last time you purged your site? When was the last time you purged the server? When was the last time you ran WP Optimize to clean your databases? So who is your host provider? And where do you live? What country are you trying to access your URL from? Linda last night asked for some code from ChatGPT and it gave it to her. Then I asked what is causing certain symptoms with my mouse and it crashed and stayed crash. Oh, I can't explain that one, Linda. WP Vivid is good as well. I just like all-in-one because I discovered them before WP Vivid and I have found it so faultless. And I've got the extension. I've paid for the all-in-one WP migration extension, which allows you to import bigger, heftier downloads. It's really, really good. It just works without fail. Michael, at the time, I was very disappointed since they had fixed a lot for this Woo Shop website for a cheaper price because I thought it will end up in a longer relationship. And that's it, Michael, okay? That is it, okay? There's literally it. It's the same analogy I've already given you. If every day you kept going to the same coffee store and you build up a relationship, and then the following day a brand new store opens, and you're like, I'm just going to try that one, okay? I'm going to try that one. And you go off and you hate it. The one you use a lot, they like you, your friends and whatever, they're probably not going to give you a discount. They're not going to go, hey, on the house. Because if I was the owner of the other shop, I'd be like, but what if you had liked it? What if you went elsewhere and you had liked it? Would you still be going there? How does that make me feel? Why should I reward you? Okay, so what Sergio says, I didn't want to say it because I know some of you use WP Vivid. I have heard this issue happened as well, where some people have said they've got WP Vivid, that even Updraft isn't perfect and it's failed. Updraft or WP Vivid, one of them has failed. The other problem is that with Updraft, sometimes when you stick it on like Google Drive or wherever, it's not always simple and easy to then get it into your website back again because there might be a fatal error. All-in-one migration, right, gives me the entirety of the website that I can go wherever I want and install it, and it will work. Hey, Shaquille Hills, how you doing? Hey, Soren, look, the sitemap is now there. Hopefully it all works out for you now. Absolutely, like Catalyse. And by the way, hey, Catalyse, not seen you for a while. If the website is heavy, you will need the pro version. Absolutely. So, Marco, the hosting provider they live in Croatia. They cache every day. Cache is not the same thing. It's purging the server as well. Purging the server, because you might have been building. Well, you might have no traffic. It's the build, WP Optimize, regenerate the CSS. But you haven't told us the name of your provider, so we wouldn't need a name. Nick use, hey Nick, they use Hello Theme. Do you know the code to do the same? Yeah, well, basically, so to be honest though, Nick, I done a video on that where you don't need to use a child theme to do that. You can create a button that takes you to the top with a menu anchor. You can stick it in as a header template, so it's always present on every single page. But I've done a video on that, Nick, so you don't need to use the child theme. And I would say don't use a child theme for something like that. A return to top button is what I call really basic, with a menu anchor, and you don't need to use a snippet for that. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Updraft does have issues, but this is where all-in-one has never, ever. In fact, no, I lie. The only time when Updraft had a major issue, right, was when a client's website was 11 gigabytes. So when they were trying to export or import, either the export failed, but sometimes it worked, and then the import failed. And it was like, because the client never got rid of old images. So every time they added in a product, the images were like 20 megabytes. Like, why? None of them were WebP, double Y. And when the product was sold, they never deleted the images. Now, every product was unique. They used to sell stereos. So they buy a stereo, they, pimp it up, clean it up, make it look good, and then they sell it on. So every stereo they sold was completely bespoke, well, unique. So when the product's deleted because it's sold, you don't need the images unless you want to keep a record somewhere of what you've sold or what not. They were not deleting any of their images. So they upload an image. There are duplicates of the images because they're not looking after stuff and they're not thinking. They weren't doing WebP. Their website, they only ever had about 10 products for sale at any one time. So it wasn't a massive WooCommerce store, okay? Trust me, it wasn't massive. 11 gigabytes. And the website had only been running since February 2022. So what's that? February, March, nearly 15 months. 15-ish months. 11 gigabytes after 15-ish months. 20 megabyte images for a WooCommerce store. Like, really? I mean, unless the person who buys your stereos, they're connected their laptop to a cinema screen, you don't need your image or your resolutions to be that big, right? Yeah, and by the way, though, there's a code snippet that I put out last week. I put out a code snippet, by the way, last week. So when you delete a product, it automatically deletes the images as well. This is only good for unique products where you're not going to reuse the product, right? But you could, there's a code snippet. We did it last week. Go into the code snippets cloud or go have a look at our videos. The code snippet videos are really easy to spot, right? They're in white. It's a white thumbnail art. You can't miss them, right? Go and have a look at that. When you delete a product, it deletes the images. Simple and easy, and it works. That's right, George, you did. Yes, you're right, George, you did update it. I forgot about that, actually. I forgot about that. I'm just checking some of the comments. Hey, look, thank you, Shaquille. I'm really glad you're liking the videos. I hope you liked the Elemental AI one I did late last night. Tomorrow, I've got 2 videos coming out about web accessibility. I am planning a massive Elementor full from start to finish build. That Elementor video is going to cover Elementor, page speed, WordPress settings, obviously building a 4 or 5 page website, blogging, WooCommerce, LMS, restricting content, and something else. Oh, what was it? Something else also, which I can't remember now. What else was it going to cover? I can't remember now. I can't remember. Oh, it's gone out of my head there. There was something else as well that I'm going to be covering in it. Was it base? Hang on. Someone said something. I think I've missed it. No, hold on. I've missed a few comments here. Nope, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, it's really big video is going to be coming out. Oh, and web accessibility. That's it. So when I build this big, massive tutorial, I'm also going to be covering off the web accessibility. So I'm going to say, right, here we go. Here's my brand color. But the button, I have to kind of change my brand color. I got my brand color, but I've got to have a slightly darker color for the button because I want to pass the web accessibility. Here we go. We got a link. What are we going to do to make sure we pass the web accessibility? Oh, we got a section. Do we need a header? Do we not need a header? We got an image. What about the alt tag? So I'm going to try and start putting across better, good practice that I feel like I and some of us, we do overlook a little bit. Unlock Lord, how you doing? Why is my background video not showing on the mobile? Apple iPhones don't always work with showing the mobile. They can be quite rubbish. So if you have it as a background image to a section, it doesn't work. If you have it as a video standalone, it will work. So what you've got to do now is kind of maybe resort to using a video, a video widget. Videos in hero sections or banners are always kind of not advised anyway, to be honest. They're never a good thing. Oh yes, Ive. So when it came to testing the section container and div blocks, I actually found the difference was so minute, it wasn't even worth writing home about. So I did have a look at it, Ive, and it was very minor. I've got a video coming out, I think next week. It's called What the Div. That video is coming out. However, I got rid of the bit where I started looking at the DOM and the size of the page. If you had it with section, container, div, and if you had div, the size difference was practically so negligible it's not worth writing home about. However, from a semantic HTML point of view, and thanks to Pixstar and George pointing this out in more detail for me as well, and I've gone and looked it up a bit more, the section, having a section before you get to the div makes so much more semantic sense. Going div does not make semantic HTML sense. So, yep, that video is coming out next week. Ruben, I have a question for the first time. You're testing CTA widget. CTA image set as a background. It gives huge gap on the top and bottom. It's going to depend on your CTA. So it depends on the padding in the CTA. It depends on how the image has been set. Is it a cover image? Is it a contain image? So it could very much depend on what you're doing there. Hey, Phil. Yes, very much not seen you for a while. Hope you're okay. Just checking. So, absolutely, Dave. So what I'm thinking, right? I want to create the super mother of Elementor videos, right? That covers off loads. So if you want to, so a lot of people can be directed to this one video that covers off loads of stuff. Obviously, what I will also do, Dave, is the LMS bit I will release as a separate video, the WooCommerce as a separate video. But if you want everything in one big waboom, kaboom, it's all there. I'm going to try to make sure it's not a massive long video. Very difficult with the amount of stuff I'm going to cover. But I want to get out like a big mother of a video. But at the same time, kind of cover off a lot of the things that crop up. So for instance, it's very easy for me to do like an LMS video from start to finish. But then if you don't cover off the WooCommerce, like you could easily say, right, you got your LMS, now you got your product, it's a WooCommerce product, and then you move on. But then if you don't explain WooCommerce in detail, people struggle a bit, right? And the same goes with like, if you do things in isolation, things get lost in translation. Oh, hang on, I want to do LMS, but I got to use WooCommerce, right? Oh, I better go watch someone else now. Their WooCommerce video might not relate or make sense. So I'm going to try and have like you start here, you do your WordPress settings, you do your page speed, you build out your Elementor website, 5 pages. Now you do your blog bit. Now we're going to add on a shop bit. Now we're going to add on courses. Let's build out a course page. Now we're going to do how do we sell that, restrict the content. And throughout that video, we're going to make sure we look at the web accessibility as we keep building it. And we keep an eye on the page speed as well. And I think that will be quite an important, big, huge, humongous video. That'll be really, really good. And by the way, Dave, I've got a video coming out tomorrow on web accessibility. Top 10 tips. Top 10 tips on web accessibility coming out tomorrow. And also a free tool that you can use with Chrome extension which you open a website, you hit the extension, and it will then tell you where are the web accessibility issues. So it's really easy for you to sort out. Hey, Jimmy, how are you doing? How are you doing? Hope you're all right, mate. Hey, Ornalid, how are you, by the way? Hope you're okay. Please don't forget, next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next week, there is no Web Squadron live chat. We've got the Atrim Agency Web Summit going on. It's free to join. I'll be doing a talk there. Paul will be doing a talk there. I think Jeffrey's doing a talk there. We're doing a joint talk about YouTube as well. There's loads of people you know or have seen or come into contact with doing talks about agencies and stuff like that, and anything else related. I strongly recommend you go and join up, because whenever I've attended the Atrim Web Agency Summit, I've always come out wiser, more educated, and I connect with other people as well. So really, really good thing. I would definitely recommend you go in and have a look at if you're not doing it here. Nick, is it possible to have an image change color on hovering? You can with a code snippet, actually. You could do that, yeah. You could add in a CSS as well. You could add in a CSS or a code snippet. So, Ben, how do we fix the accessibility issues on Elementor accordions? I have not addressed that, so can I make a note of that? Because I have not addressed that. So I'm just going to make a note. Let me make a note. So accessibility on EL accordion. So I've done a video, but I haven't gone specifically to that. You know, I've looked at several stuff, contact forms, but I haven't gone down to that level, so I will have a look at that. There are a lot of videos how to build a website, but they never explain. Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing, Ive. So there've been a few big videos coming out in the last 2 months. What I'm finding though is a lot of them, this is what they do, right? They go, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And sometimes the methodologies they're showing, I don't think are the most efficient way to do it. Also, they don't explain the pros and cons. Also, they sometimes resort to just dumping in a template. They go, okay, yeah, right, we're now using a certain theme. We'll just dump in a template. We're now using, we'll see what the block template is. We'll dump it in. I want to build everything from scratch. Okay, I want to do everything from scratch. And yes, it will be long, but if it's time stamped, you jump in and look at what you want to look at, right? And like I said, when I've done the LMS bit, I will save that as a separate video. But if you want the whole thing in one go, you've got it. And I might make it be 24 hours long. Why not? Let's make it be a 24-hour long video, right? How stupid would that be? Because there's loads of videos out there, okay, some people, where I literally like jump into the video and I'm watching a bit just to see, well, how are they doing it? What's their style? Well, it's been a while since I watched one of their videos. And it's almost like I start to question, how much experience have you really got at building websites? Because when I see what they do, they care more about the way it looks rather than the user experience or how it's going to look on the mobile even, or even the page speed score. Very rarely do a lot of them check the page speed score as they're going along. Have you noticed this? And I'm like thinking, I bet if you check the score on that, it would be horrendously bad. Just reading some of the comments. I was going to actually start recording that one today. Unfortunately, Raheem was ill. Or he said he was ill. He didn't go to school. I now realise he wasn't really ill. And everything was okay until 3 o'clock. And then he had a huge meltdown tantrum kind of thing. So I'm going to go check he's all right in a bit. But What was I getting to? Yeah, I was going to start that video today. However, I might now delay it until next week because now I've got some other stuff. So for the Atrium Web Summit, I need to create a presentation. My chat is going to be about client acquisition on LinkedIn. It's not going to be the same as the webinar. It's going to be quite a bit different because someone else is going to be covering off LinkedIn profiles and all of that. But I'm going to be talking to you more about how can you fast track the acquisition bit. And there are some other little tricks that I want to share with you on that, okay? And I'm saving that one for the Atrium Web Agency Summit. Exactly, Pickstar. And this is the thing, right? So you know me, that when I've done a lot of videos, I tend to I do it, then I do the mobile, and then I go show you the score online to show you how you can keep your score high. What gets me a little bit frustrated is there's loads of tutorials out there. They're building their hero banner. They might make it mobile responsive, but I can tell you now, there's no way in heck that has maintained a good page speed score. Because some of the stuff and the way they're doing it, here's the other thing, okay? Some of my recent videos, I always say, yep, the page speed snippets have all been done, and now we build it. Very rarely, very, very rarely, when they're building a website, here's what they do. The first 30 minutes of the video is about the domain and the hosting, where to go, where to buy it from, because there's an affiliate link usually, your WordPress settings. And I'm like, half an hour. With me, I want to make sure that hopefully within the first 10 minutes, we've got your WordPress settings and your page speed optimization done, right? Because what they do is half an hour, then they jump into the Elemental bit and doing all of that. And then, oh yeah, you got to go here to get Elemental Pro, and here's the affiliate link, and if you do it, you get a discount, which isn't really a discount, blah, 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 blah. Very, very rarely do they ever talk about page speed optimization. And that's what you know me by now, in that I'm very, very prescriptive about how before you build your website, you get your optimization done and dusted. You get your fonts in, you make sure your images, you always remember WebP, WebP, WebP. You get your code snippets in, so that when you start building with Elemental or Bricks, and I would still say the stuff I tell you to do it for Bricks as well, because Bricks scores can go down quite a bit if you're not careful. And then you build, and then you assess. You do the perfect section or the perfect parent container with the contents. You check it in tablet or mobile or whatever. You then do the page speed score. You move on to the next bit. You build it, mobile, check the score. Next one, duplicate it, mobile it, check the score. Yes, it triplicates the time. I am not lying to you. The time it takes to do a home page is going to be triplicated. But the time it takes for you then to go, right, the client liked it, now I've got to go do the mobile bit. Now I've got to go and look at the score. Oh no, the score's 40%. But the client signed it off. The client liked it. Damn, I've got to have to do something here. You save yourself the hassle. And if you always think perfect section, perfect container, the fonts, because when you do the fonts, hopefully, and that's the other thing in the video, I will be using Clamp. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to be using Clamp in the video. So again, good practice. If it's too complicated, fine, don't use the Clamp. Go and use Pixel or REM. I'll say that in the video. But if you want to make it responsively slick, you go for the Clamp. You do that. Nice one, Eddie. I'm really glad that the webinar and the follow-up short video, I hope all of that really, really helps you out. So I'm really glad. But yeah, go and put it into action, okay? It's kind of nice reading the conversation back and forth between Linda and George there. So like I said, if anyone's joining in late, next week, Tuesday to Friday, there is no live chat because I will be probably joining in and out, jumping in and out of the Atrium Web Agency Summit. I'm hoping I get to learn a lot of good stuff as well. Clamp is awesome. Exactly. I mean, that's, you know, that's exactly what's good about it, Pickstar. And I like to take it further, how you can utilize it for your margin and your padding as well. If you have a background image, not so much. If you have an image on the page and it was 600 pixel, and when you get to the mobile, you want it to be 300 pixel, Clamp can work for you there as well in terms of your width, even your height. And it is massively, massively overlooked. I think one of the reasons it's not covered so much in videos is because it can scare off people, can't it? They go, whoa, Clamp, oh, formulas, oh. We've got the Clamp calculator, the generator, which is really easy to use. So when I do the tutorial, I am going to point out, if you want to put in pixel numbers for your margin, go for it. If you want to use EM, up to you. If you want to be a bit more future-proofing in a way, you know, depending on the size of your device. And this is where Clamp is brilliant. You don't have to do mobile, horizontal mobile, Android here, tablet, iPad Pro, laptop, desktop, massive desktop, huge desktop, super ultra-wide desktop. You can almost get away with not having to go down that road with that, okay? So it can massively help you out. Yeah, exactly, Harish. This is the point I make, yeah? They just don't cover it. Because it's a bit like how 4 years ago they were all rolling out Ocean WP. Ocean WP everywhere. Do you know how many people are still using Ocean WP because of the videos that were done 2-3 years ago? And then they regret it. The amount of people I've worked with that had Ocean WP and they had a problem, unbelievable. Or there's other, I'm not going to name them, but there's other themes as well that people are using. But because the video producer used it, usually because there was an affiliate link somewhere. I keep going on about Hello. Even my listing, right? I use my listing a lot for directories. Have you ever seen a my listing affiliate link from me? Have you ever seen one? No. You know why? Because there's loads of listing directory themes and plugins out there. If I put a link in there, you might now think, well, wow, it must be really good. No, I use it. You use what you want to go for. I only put links in for Rank Math. Do I have Rank Math? I think I still do. Rank Math, SiteGround, Elemental, and Bertha. They're the only 4 affiliate links I have. Because I've either used them or am using them. I believe in them. I support them. And that's why. And that is why. ENJR. Typography fixation. What do you mean from me, ENJR? Yeah, exactly, Catalyst. And this is it, right? So whenever I speak about Ocean WP, I have to be very careful because the Ocean WP supporters hammer me hard. They hammer me hard, okay? Exactly, George. I do hide the links. No, I don't. But Ocean WP hammer me massively hard, right? How dare you say this? You know, it's so much better. Where's your evidence? And I'm like, just go to the Elementor forum. Just do a search for Ocean WP. It's the #1 theme with issues that crops up all the time. The amount of times, okay, I like SiteGround works for me really, really well. I like SiteGround. The amount of people, when they have a problem, and I then say, what are you using? And they go, Ocean WP. And I go, Are you using their header or footer? No. Are you using Elementals? Yes. Right. Switch to Hello. They switch to Hello. There's a few colour changes here and there. And then they go, oh, it's all working. Oh, the website's faster. I go, yeah. Because if you're using Elementor Pro, You don't need Astra and their bloat. We can all go on about Elemental's bloat all day long, right? We know the code is bloated. We know that. But you're not helping yourself with Astra or OceanWP. I never understand why people have Elemental Pro and Astra Pro or OceanWP Pro. I never get my head around that. Like, why are you doing that? I never get it. Where is the free speech gone? Eh? What do you mean, Sergio? Where's the free speech? Oh, I can't comment on Bertha AI and their plugins. I only use Bertha AI. I mean, absolutely, yeah. The inodes for SiteGround are a pain. You have to keep an eye on that. Especially if you have a WooCommerce website. Before you know it, the inodes are like that. Very first time we started using SiteGround as a shared hosting where we put clients on there. When I then started having some with WooCommerce, the inodes went like boom, like that. And I was like, oh man, right, okay. Now I realise when I used to think we could get away with 30 websites. Then I was like, actually, no. If you have 10 WooCommerces, that's even pushing it, beyond what you really should do. Yeah, do you know what, Sergio? I think what it is some of them started on Elemental Free. They went and used like the Elemental header footer builder plugin for their header and footer. Then they got Elemental Pro, but they never rebuilt the header and footer, which is really lazy because you could easily copy and paste it. I've said to them, just copy and paste it into a new template. It will work. It'll be fine because it's the same widget construction logic, but they don't do that. Or they won't pay me to do that. So I'm like, fine, we won't do that for you. Okay, we won't do that for you. By the way, we are live for just over 1 hour now. And I'm going to give it about... I'm going to give it a 2-minute warning. I know you hate it when some people say we hate the 2-minute warning. But I'm giving you a 2-minute warning mainly because, I want to go check my son's okay. Check he's all right. We had a bit of, we had a bit of an argument. Just check he's... I mean, he's okay. But I want to, an hour after we've made up, I want to check he's okay as well. Well, Sergio, you don't even have to export and import it. You can open a brand new Elemental header template, have the other one open in another page or template, and you can literally just copy and paste one section to another. And that's it. And it will work absolutely fine. Dave Greavy, sounds like a good reason to do a video for newbies that have Elemental. Yeah, well... The thing is, Dave, okay, whenever I've put out a video talking about what I've just been saying, I get hammered. The dislikes on the videos shoot up because they then start on purpose going through loads of videos, dislike. Some then have reported my videos as spam or copyright. Some of them have then reported my videos as infringement. And I'm like, no. And then they're like, where's your evidence? And I'm like, I don't need to provide evidence. It's there on the forums. And what I'm saying is factual, right? We know Elemental has bloat, but then you're adding in OceanWP, which is going to have more bloat. Or Cadence. Again, why do people use that? If you got Elemental Pro, it's like you're adding in so much stuff for no good reason. Because you can build it all out with Elemental, and that's the other thing as well. WordPress needs to evolve to a point where you don't have to have a theme. So if you've got Elemental as your page builder, technically, why do we need... I mean, I know why we need a theme. Don't start throwing things at me. I get it. I know why. But wouldn't it be lovely if you were now using a page builder, Bricks, you need the theme. We know that, but you don't need the other plugins. You don't have to get them, the add-ons. But if you're using Elementor, right, and everything is built within Elementor in a way, well, when I say in a way, it is, WordPress needs to get to a point whereby you don't have to have the theme. Wouldn't that be lovely? Can you imagine that? Wouldn't that be lovely? That's one less thing on the system. Do you, Eddie? What, with hello? I mean, okay. I mean, to be honest, though, the site identity, yeah, the favicon. But then again, that should be something. That should be something that should be inbuilt into WordPress, right? I feel like in WordPress, the whole site identity, the favicon, all of that. Because when you go to WordPress settings, you have the title, you have the subtitle. The favicon should be there. The site, whatever, it should be there. I shouldn't have to do it in the theme customizer. Something I've always felt like, why don't we have it there? Well, I know why, but I still feel like, why? Take care, Jimmy, by the way, sorry. I haven't really used the Utopia Fluid Responsive Design or their calculators. I haven't really looked at that. I'll try and find time for that. Well, this is it, Eddie, right? Okay, so a lot of these Elemental add-ons, they're built for the Elemental free market, if I'm really honest. A lot of people use Elemental free. That's what it's for. But then I look at the cost of the add-on and I go, well, it's better for you to get Elemental Pro rather than a third-party add-on. You don't know if that third-party add-on is going to last or be here next year, 2 years' time. What if it disappears? What about your entire website? What if there's a vulnerability? You might go, well, okay, I won't update, so I don't need to worry. But what if there's a vulnerability or WordPress advancement or Elemental free? There's a deprecation of a certain feature. You're going to regret it. Sure, Sergio, I will tag you in. But don't get into arguments for no good reason. Hey, Nitin, thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Please hit like if you've just joined the live chat. And we have got some huge, big Elemental videos planned to hopefully come out. Tomorrow we've got a video coming out about web accessibility, the top 10 tips. Please go and watch that, okay? Because accessibility is really overlooked massively. Well, to be honest, Phil, I use Hello. I use Hello just because it's built by the Elemental people. I feel a little bit safer using it. But I would love to see a point where if you're using a page builder, you don't have to have a theme. That would be great. Okay, everyone, I'm now going to say, I'm actually going to sign off now, okay? I'm just going to sign off. We're about to hit 1 hour, 7 minutes. I will be back tomorrow. Because my son was at home with me today, everything I wanted to get done by 11 o'clock, I finished just before I did the live chat. Right, which is why I didn't join until about 1 hour, 7 minutes ago. Everything I wanted to get done in the afternoon, I'm going to have to do tonight. Everything I wanted to do this evening, I'm going to have to do tomorrow. So I've got this, I don't like it when I have a backlog because you never know what email. Look at this. Look at this, right? I'm not going to share them. I've got 13 emails since we went live. And I'll tell you, 1, 2, 4 of those emails are spam. But 9 of them are not spam. Backlog happens, right? He said he was ill. He wasn't really ill. I think he just didn't want to go to school, which is not... I don't want him to think that, oh yeah, you can stay home with me. But also he had a bit of a tantrum, mainly because I said you can't play Roblox on the PC. And he just had a tantrum. But that's it. Right, okay, I'm now going to say goodbye. Take care. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have fun. Please go and watch the Elemental AI video if you've not already seen it. It's early access that I got. And tomorrow, we've got 2 web accessibility videos. If you are not taking it seriously, watch the top 10 tips. Because what I tell you is so easy to do. We should be doing it all the time. So why are we not doing it? See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.